Welcome to Human Truths TV Insight, the channel that takes you on a journey to discover the secrets of health, fitness, and the deepest human truths that matter to every home. In a world where everyone is chasing perfect images and quick fixes, we are here searching for genuine knowledge, built on solid scientific foundations, far from exaggeration and false promises. Today, we are facing a topic of extreme specificity and importance. A topic that touches every single one of us, especially those who have crossed the threshold of 30, or are approaching it, or even those in their 40s and 50s who wonder, why doesn't my body respond the way it used to? Imagine this scene with me. A 35-year-old man who in his 20s could eat whatever he wanted without gaining weight, and would wake up energetic after a short night's sleep. Now he finds his weight increasing just by looking at sweets, and feels strange pains in his back and knees. A woman in her 40s, who used to exercise regularly, notices her muscles have become less firm, and her strength has noticeably declined. Is this an inevitable fate? Is early aging unavoidable? The joyful answer is, no, it's not fate, but a challenge we can face with science, willpower, and proper planning. Today, we will talk about the almost eternal secret of youth, about the golden key to maintaining your vitality and independence for many years to come. Protein and its crucial importance in preserving our muscle mass after the age of 30. But today, we won't just talk about protein as a nutritional element. We'll talk about an integrated life philosophy, about an investment in your future, about a daily battle your body's cells fight, without you even feeling it. What happens to the body after 30? Expanded scientific angle. Let's start with bare scientific facts. Away from myths and popular beliefs. Our bodies are in a constant dynamic state, in a perpetual cycle of building and breaking down. It's like a major city, with demolition of old buildings and construction of new ones. In physiology, this process is called protein synthesis and breakdown. Until about the age of 30, we are in our peak phase, where the power of building outweighs the power of breaking down. Our bone density reaches its maximum, and our muscle mass reaches its peak. Your body at this stage tells you, I am here. I am strong. I can handle anything. But after this age, the rules of the game begin to gradually change. Scientists call this phenomenon sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss. The word is derived from Greek, sarco meaning flesh, and penia meaning loss. It is the gradual loss of muscle mass and strength. The numbers here might be somewhat shocking, but knowing them is essential to understanding the magnitude of the challenge. Documented scientific studies, published in journals like the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia and Muscle, indicate that the average inactive person can lose between 3% to 8% of their muscle mass every decade after the age of 30. Let's pause for a moment at this number. 3% to 8% every 10 years. This means that by the age of 50, you may have lost between 6% to 16% of your muscles. And by the time you reach your 60s and 70s, the rate of loss accelerates to about 15% per decade. Imagine this scenario with me. A 65-year-old, inactive person may have lost nearly 30% to 40% of their muscle mass compared to their youthful peak. 30% to 40% of strength, vitality, and energy simply evaporate over time. But what are the underlying reasons behind this phenomenon? It's not just about getting older. There are several interrelated factors. First, hormonal changes. After 30, testosterone, in both men and women but at different levels, begins a gradual decline of about 1% per year. Growth hormone HGH and IGF-1, responsible for stimulating muscle building and tissue repair, also decrease. This hormonal decline significantly slows the body's ability to build new muscle proteins. Second, anabolic resistance. This is a very important concept. Even if you consume the same amount of protein you did in your 20s, your body after 30 becomes less efficient at utilizing that protein. It's like an older car engine. It needs more fuel, yet delivers less energy return. An older person needs a larger amount of protein to stimulate the same rate of muscle building that a younger person achieves with less. Third, decreased physical activity. This is a vicious cycle. As we age, we get busy with life, work, and family, so exercise time decreases. Lack of movement leads to muscle atrophy, and weak muscles lead to less desire to move, and so on. Fourth, poor nutrition. Many older adults neglect to consume adequate protein, either due to decreased appetite, dental issues, or the mistaken belief that they need less food. This is a big mistake. So the picture is clear. Our battle against time is real. But it's not impossible. We just need to understand the new rules of the game. Scene 3. Why should we care about muscles? They are more than just appearance. Expanded health and vitality angle. Someone might say, okay, if I lose some muscle, what's the big deal? The main thing is to be thin and free of diseases. And here comes the most exciting part of our journey today. Muscles in the human body are not just for decoration, or for lifting weights in the gym, or for having a nice look at the beach. Muscles are your internal youth engine. They are a vital, metabolically active organ. In fact, they can be described as the body's second heart, because they play a crucial role in our overall health. Let's explain this in detail through 4 key angles. First, muscles and metabolic rate, calorie burning. This is an undeniable physiological fact. Muscle tissue is metabolically active, even at rest. Each extra kilogram of muscle burns about 30 to 50 additional calories per day, just to maintain itself. This number might seem modest, but it accumulates significantly over time. Imagine a person who has 10 kilograms more muscle than another person. This means they burn an extra 300 to 500 calories daily without even moving. This is why people with higher muscle mass can eat more food without gaining weight. When you lose muscle with age, your basal metabolic rate slows down significantly. Your body becomes less efficient at burning energy, and gaining weight, especially fat, becomes much easier, even if you eat exactly as you always did. This is the harsh equation. Less muscle equals slower metabolism equals easier weight gain. Second, muscles are the body's sugar reservoir. This information is very important, and many might not know it. Muscles are the main storage depot for glucose, sugar in the body. When your blood sugar rises after a meal, your muscles pull this sugar from the blood and store it as glycogen to be used later as fuel. When muscle mass decreases, the size of this reservoir shrinks, and the body's ability to regulate blood sugar levels diminishes. The body's cells become less responsive to insulin, known as insulin resistance, which significantly increases the risk of developing type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and metabolic syndrome. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that older adults with higher muscle mass had a 30% lower risk of developing insulin resistance. Third, muscles protect bones and joints. Strong muscles mean strong bones. When muscles contract and pull on bones during movement, they stimulate the bones to increase their density and strength. This process is called mechanical loading, and it is essential for preventing osteoporosis, especially in postmenopausal women. Furthermore, strong muscles around joints, like the knees and shoulders, act as natural seatbelts, protecting the joints from injury. reducing the pain of arthritis, and improving balance. Fourth, muscles, quality of life, and independence. This is the deepest human angle. Imagine a day in your life 20 or 30 years from now. Do you want to be able to carry your grandchild and play with them? Climb stairs without getting winded or fearing a fall? Carry grocery bags from the car to the house? Stand for long periods without back pain? Rely on yourself in daily life without anyone's help? All these simple things we take for granted in our youth depend entirely on the strength of our muscles. Preserving muscle mass is an investment in your independence, your dignity, and your ability to live an active and happy life, even at an advanced age. Muscles are not a luxury. They are a necessity for life. Scene 4. Our battle against time. Why protein is our primary weapon. Expanded nutritional angle. If muscles are our fortified castle against the consequences of aging, then protein is the fundamental building material we need daily to repair. Strengthen and expand this castle. But what exactly is protein? Proteins are large, complex molecules made up of smaller building blocks called amino acids. Imagine you are building a wall out of bricks. Protein is the complete wall, and amino acids are each individual brick. There are 20 different amino acids, and your body needs all of them to function properly. The body can synthesize 11 of them on its own, but the remaining 9 are called essential amino acids, and the body cannot produce them. They must be obtained from food. When you eat protein, your digestive system breaks it down into its constituent amino acids, absorbs them into the bloodstream, and they travel to various body cells, especially muscle cells, where they are used to build new proteins and repair the damage that occurs naturally, especially after physical activity. And here's the big surprise. After 30, consuming protein is not just a supplementary healthy choice. It becomes an urgent necessity, and moreover, a life strategy. Let's compare needs at different life stages. If you are in your 20s, the global dietary recommendations. RDA recommended dietary allowance suggest consuming about 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. This amount is sufficient to prevent protein deficiency and maintain basic functions. But after 30, to combat muscle loss and the anabolic resistance we discussed earlier, this rate must be significantly increased. Experts and researchers in the fields of geriatric nutrition and sports medicine now agree that middle-aged and older adults need a much larger amount. The ideal amount to maintain and build muscle mass, according to a study published in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition and the Guidelines of the International Society of Sports Nutrition, ranges between 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. For physically active individuals or those who regularly engage in resistance training, needs may reach 1.6, 2.2 g/kg. Let's calculate it together more practically. Suppose a person weighs 70 kilograms. According to the old recommendation, 0.8 g. They needed only 56 grams of protein per day. According to the new recommendation, 1.2, 1.6 g. They now need 84 to 112 grams of protein per day. The difference is vast, isn't it? 56 grams might be easily obtained from just 2 meals, whereas 100 grams requires more serious dietary planning. But why this significant increase? There are several scientific reasons. 1. Anabolic resistance. As mentioned, an older person needs a larger dose of protein per meal to stimulate the same rate of muscle building that a younger person achieves with a smaller dose. 2. Increased demand for amino acids. With age, the need for certain essential amino acids increases, such as leucine, the amino acid primarily responsible for stimulating muscle protein synthesis. 3. Compensating for chronic inflammation. With advancing age, levels of low-grade inflammation in the body rise, which increases muscle protein breakdown, necessitating greater compensation. Scene 5. How to get this amount. A comprehensive practical kitchen guide. Expanded practical angle. Okay, theoretical numbers are important, but the fundamental question is, how do we translate these numbers into real food on the table? How do we turn our kitchen into a natural pharmacy that nourishes our muscles and fights aging? The good news is that protein sources are incredibly diverse, delicious, and suit all tastes, budgets, and dietary systems. The key is variety and planning. First, animal sources. Complete protein. Animal protein is called complete protein because it contains all 9 essential amino acids in adequate amounts. Chicken breast, the undisputed champion of lean protein. Every 100 grams of grilled chicken breast provides about 31 grams of pure protein. With very little fat, it's the ideal choice for those who want to build muscle without excess calories. Turkey breast, similar to chicken, and rich in tryptophan, an amino acid that helps improve mood and sleep. Red meat, beef and lamb, rich in protein, about 26 grams per 100 grams, and also an excellent source of iron, zinc, and vitamin B12, all essential for energy production and blood health. However, it's preferable to consume it in moderation and choose lean cuts. Fish and seafood. Here lies the real treasure: salmon, tuna, sardines. Mackerel are not only rich in protein, about 22-25 grams per 100 grams, but also provide essential omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA. These essential fatty acids play a vital role in fighting inflammation. They reduce the chronic inflammation that accelerates muscle aging, improving insulin sensitivity, which helps in building muscle, enhancing muscle recovery after exercise. Eggs. Eggs are considered the gold standard of high-quality protein because they contain the best balance of amino acids. One large egg contains about 6-7 grams of protein, most of it in the white, but the yolk contains important vitamins like D, B12, and choline. 2 large eggs give you about 13-14 grams of highly absorbable protein. Dairy products. Greek yogurt is the star of this category. The straining process removes much of the whey, leaving a thick product rich in protein. Every 100 grams of plain Greek yogurt contains about 10 grams of protein, almost double that of regular yogurt. Cottage cheese is another excellent choice. Rich in casein, a slow-absorbing protein, ideal to eat before bed to nourish muscles throughout the night. Regular milk contains about 3.4 grams of protein per 100 ml. Second, plant sources. Plant-based protein. Many believe that plant protein is of lower quality, which is inaccurate. It's true that most plant sources are considered incomplete proteins because they lack one or more essential amino acids. But by cleverly combining them, you can get excellent complete protein. Legumes. Lentils, all types, chickpeas, white and black beans, cowpeas. Cooked lentils provide about 9 grams of protein per 100 grams. Cooked fava beans provide about 8 grams. These foods are also rich in fiber, which feeds beneficial gut bacteria, improves digestion, and prolongs the feeling of fullness. Soy and its products. Soy is the only complete plant protein, containing all essential amino acids in adequate amounts. Tofu, made from soy milk. Similar to soft cheese, rich in protein, about 8 grams per 100 grams, versatile and absorbs the flavors of the foods it's cooked with. Edamame, green soybeans, an excellent snack, rich in protein and fiber. Tempeh, a fermented soy product with a strong flavor and firm texture, rich in protein and probiotics. Nuts and seeds. Almonds are rich in protein, about 21 grams per 100 grams, healthy fats and vitamin E. Walnuts are rich in plant-based omega-3s. Chia seeds, flax seeds, and pumpkin seeds are all excellent additions to yogurt, oatmeal, and salads, significantly boosting their protein value. Whole grains. Quinoa is the star grain here, as it contains all essential amino acids, making it a rare complete protein among grains. 1 cup of cooked quinoa contains about 8 grams of protein. Oats, buckwheat, and brown rice are all good additions. The principle of protein combining. You don't have to consume all amino acids in one meal. As was previously thought, the body is smart and can pool amino acids from different meals throughout the day. But to understand the idea, the classic combinations are rice plus lentils. Rice lacks lysine, found in lentils, and lentils lack methionine, found in rice. Together, they form a complete protein. Chickpeas plus bread. Like hummus with pita, same idea, chickpeas lack methionine and bread complements it. Scene 6. Golden tips for better absorption and guaranteed results plus supplements. Now that we know the rich sources of protein, let's move to the next level of professionalism. It's not just about what we eat, but when we eat, and how we eat to maximize benefits. First, protein distribution throughout the day, protein packing. This is one of the most important and impactful tips. Many people make the mistake of eating one gigantic, protein-rich meal at dinner, while consuming meals throughout the day that are poor in protein. Bread and jam, pasta, just soup. This method is completely ineffective for building muscle. Why? Because the process of muscle protein synthesis, MPS, is limited. The body cannot build muscle continuously. It needs repeated signals. Imagine you're lighting a fire in a fireplace. If you throw a huge amount of wood all at once, the fire will burn intensely, then die out, and you won't get sustained warmth. It's better to put a moderate amount of wood every few hours. Scientific research suggests that the optimal amount of protein to stimulate muscle building in a single meal is about 20 to 40 grams, depending on a person's weight and activity level. Therefore, it's better to distribute your daily need, e.g., 120 grams over 3 main meals and 1 snack. So each meal contains 25-35 grams of protein. Golden practical tip. Start your day with a protein-rich breakfast. The traditional breakfast, white bread, jam, butter, tea, is a disaster for your muscles. Start with a meal like an omelet of 2 eggs with feta cheese and mixed vegetables, Greek yogurt with a handful of nuts and fruit pieces, oatmeal prepared with milk and a spoonful of peanut butter. This regulates your appetite throughout the day, prevents sudden hunger pangs, and ensures a continuous flow of amino acids to your muscles. Second, protein supplements. Are they necessary? When to use them? The topic of supplements, like whey protein powder, casein, or plant-based protein, sparks much debate. Let's be honest. Supplements are not magic, and they can never replace real food. No supplement in the world can mimic the nutritional complexity of a piece of grilled chicken with vegetables, or a bowl of lentils with rice. However, supplements can be a very useful and practical tool in certain situations. One-time constraints. If you are a very busy person and don't always have time to prepare balanced meals, a quick protein shake after a workout or between meals can help you meet your daily needs. 2. Poor appetite. As we age, appetite sometimes decreases. Drinking calories and protein is easier than chewing food, especially for the elderly. 3. Immediately post-workout. Whey protein is fast-absorbing and can be ideal in the anabolic window right after exercise, first 30-60 minutes, to quickly supply muscles with amino acids. 4. Before bed. Casein protein, found in milk and cottage cheese or in supplements, is slow-absorbing and can nourish muscles throughout the night during sleep. Important warning. When buying supplements, choose products from trusted brands. preferably those that undergo third-party testing to ensure purity and freedom from banned substances, heavy metals, or harmful hormones that could damage the liver and kidneys in the long run. Third, water intake. This might seem simple, but it's fundamental. Protein needs water for metabolism. Even mild dehydration can significantly impair the muscle's ability to recover and build. Drink adequate water throughout the day. Scene 7. No protein without movement. Expanded sports angle plus differences between men and women. And here we come to the most crucial part of this complex equation. You can fill your stomach with protein all day long. Follow the best diet in the world. And take the best supplements. But without movement, and especially without resistance training, you will not build the muscles you want, and you will not achieve the desired results. Let's use a simple analogy. Think of building muscle like building a house. The protein you eat is the bricks and cement, the building materials. Your healthy body and hormones are the workers who will do the building. The exercise, specifically resistance training, is the architect who gives the orders and says, "Build a wall here, add a room there." Exercise is the signal that forces the body to say, "This muscle is under stress. We need to make it stronger and bigger to handle this stress in the future." Without this signal, no matter how many bricks you have, construction won't start. The most effective scientifically proven strategy to combat sarcopenia and muscle loss is progressive resistance training. Don't worry. We don't mean you have to become a professional bodybuilder, nor do we mean you have to lift weights beyond your capacity. Resistance training simply means any exercise that forces your muscles to work against an external resistance. This includes weightlifting, dumbbells and barbells, the most effective for building strength and mass, gym machines, safe and easy to learn for beginners, resistance bands, excellent for home workouts, and for loading muscles at different angles, bodyweight exercises, calisthenics, such as push-ups, squats, lunges, pull-ups, if possible, and planks. These exercises can be done anywhere without equipment. The difference between men and women. It's important here to clarify a crucial point. Women often fear resistance training, worried about bulking up excessively. This fear is scientifically unfounded. Male hormones, testosterone, in women are 20 to 30 times lower than in men. Therefore, it is biologically impossible for a woman to turn into a muscle-bound man by doing regular exercises. What a woman will gain is a toned and sculpted body, strong but lean and defined muscles, increased metabolism and fat burning, protection against osteoporosis, which is more common in women. Ideal weekly schedule. It is sufficient to perform these resistance exercises 2 to 4 times a week, for only 30 to 45 minutes each time, to see a huge difference in strength and muscle mass over time. The magical idea here lies in the word progression. You must constantly increase the challenge on your muscles. This means you don't keep lifting the same weight for months. When you feel an exercise has become easy, slightly increase the weight, increase the number of repetitions, or decrease the rest time between sets. Progression is what prevents the body from reaching a plateau and constantly forces the muscles to grow. Scene 8. The hidden factors: sleep, stress, and genetics. Expanded holistic angle. To complete the beautiful picture of muscle health, we must mention the fundamental pillars that we often neglect. Those hidden factors that can make the difference between success and failure, between building muscle and breaking it down. First, sleep, the secret construction lab. This truth should be printed and stuck on every refrigerator door. Muscle building does not happen during exercise. It happens during deep sleep. When you exercise, you are actually creating tiny, microscopic tears in the muscle fibers. These tears are what cause muscle soreness after a workout. The real repair and building process happens later, while you are asleep. During deep sleep, especially the slow wave state, the body does several amazing things. 1. Secretes growth hormone. This hormone is the primary driver of tissue building and repair, and it is secreted in large amounts during deep sleep. 2. Increases protein synthesis. Muscle protein synthesis is at its highest during sleep. 3. Lowers stress hormones. Cortisol levels naturally drop during sleep, allowing building hormones to work unhindered. If you are not getting enough sleep, 7 to 9 hours for most adults, you are simply destroying everything you do during the day. You are depriving your muscles of the chance to recover and build, increasing the risk of injury and weakening your immune system. 2. Chronic stress, the archenemy of muscles. The stress hormone cortisol is an essential hormone for life, but it becomes dangerous when chronically elevated. Cortisol is a catabolic hormone, meaning it breaks down tissues to turn them into energy. When you are under chronic stress, hard work, family problems, constant anxiety, cortisol remains high in your blood. What does this chronic elevation do? Increases muscle protein breakdown. It breaks down muscle tissue to convert amino acids into glucose to provide you with immediate energy, which you probably don't need. Inhibits protein synthesis. It blocks the signals that stimulate building new muscle. Encourages visceral fat storage, the dangerous fat around internal organs. So, stress management is not a luxury. It's an essential part of a muscle-building strategy. Dedicate time to relaxation. Practice meditation or deep breathing. Walk in nature. Engage in a hobby you love. And disconnect from screens before bed. 3. Genetic factors, genes. We have to be realistic. There is a factor we cannot fully control: our genes. Some people have a genetic predisposition to build muscle more easily than others, what used to be called being a mesomorph in old body typing systems. Others have a genetic tendency to stay thin with difficulty building muscle, ectomorphs. And others tend to store fat easily with difficulty showing muscle, endomorphs. This doesn't mean that those without the ideal genes are doomed to fail. Absolutely not. It just means the path might be different, might require more effort, or different strategies. The important thing is to focus on what you can control. Proper nutrition, regular exercise, adequate sleep, and stress management. These factors combined can overcome many genetic limitations. Scene 9, before the conclusion plus realistic meal examples. Before we reach the end of our long and enjoyable journey today, I'd like to pause for a moment to speak to you from the heart. Human Truths TV Insight constantly strives to provide meaningful content based on science that truly helps you improve your quality of life, far from the exaggerations and false promises that fill social media. If you are following us and find real value in this information, if you feel you've gained something new you can apply in your daily life, I kindly and warmly invite you to hit the subscribe button for the channel and to activate the notification bell so you get notified of every new video as soon as it's released. Your biggest and most important support is sharing this knowledge with your loved ones, with your friends, with your parents, with your children. Perhaps it will be a reason for their health and well-being for years to come. Stay well and healthy. And now, as a practical gift from me to you, let me share an example of a full day of eating that meets your protein needs. Let's say 120 grams in a balanced and delicious way. Breakfast 7:00 a.m. An omelet made with 3 eggs, a little shredded cheese and mixed vegetables alongside it, a slice of whole grain toast, protein approximately 30 grams. Lunch 1:00 p.m. Grilled chicken breast about the size of the palm of your hand, roughly 150 grams, with a large plate of colorful vegetable salad. and 4 tablespoons of brown rice or quinoa. Protein, approximately 45 grams. From chicken and grains. Afternoon snack. 5:00 p.m. A container of Greek yogurt, 200 grams, with a handful of almonds, about 30 grams, and some berries. Protein, approximately 25 grams, 15 from yogurt plus 6 from almonds. Dinner, 8:30 p.m. A bowl of lentils cooked with vegetables, about 1.5 cups, with a small piece of grilled fish or fried tofu. Protein, approximately 20 grams, from lentils and fish tofu. Approximate total, 30 plus 45 plus 25 plus 20 equals 120 grams of protein. This is a realistic example, and it can be adjusted according to your taste, budget, and the availability of foods in your country. Scene 10, conclusion and comprehensive summary plus final message. We have now reached the end of our fascinating journey. Let's quickly summarize what we learned today in clear points to serve as your roadmap. First truth. Muscle loss after 30, sarcopenia, is a natural process, but it is not an inevitable fate. It can be slowed down and even reversed with the right intervention. First weapon, nutrition. Make protein your best friend. Aim for an amount between 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of your body weight daily. Distribute this amount throughout the day across all your meals. Diversify your sources between animal and plant-based. Don't neglect vegetables and fruits for their antioxidants and fiber. Second weapon, movement. Practice resistance training regularly, 2-4 times a week. Make it a non-negotiable habit, like brushing your teeth. Apply the principle of progression in increasing weights or repetitions. Third and fourth weapons. Rest. Sleep well 7-9 hours to allow your body to build muscle and secrete constructive hormones. Learn to manage your stress, as chronic stress silently destroys muscle. Preserving your muscles is the best investment you can make. It's an investment in your future, your energy, your independence, your self-confidence, and your quality of life for many years to come. Don't let age pass by without leaving your mark on it. Start today, even with one small step. Buy an extra piece of chicken, go for a short walk, sleep early tonight. You deserve to live a strong and active life at every stage of your life. Thank you very much for your kind attention and pleasant company. See you in a future video on Human Truths TV Insight, with a new and useful human truth. Goodbye and may God bless you.